you ever hear people say K-12 all the time? I'm gonna ask you to correct them, because education does not start at K, it starts at birth.
So we have 3 particular areas that we focus on to stabilize childcare. And so one is the fixed cost, offsetting fixed costs for our childcare programs. And then we also are looking at compensation offsets, because as we talked about earlier, the wages of our childcare workers, and it's right at $12 on average. And so we know that that's just not a livable wage, and we need to do better, and we can do better. So we're demonstrating a way that you can do better. And so we implemented some ways to be able to offset compensation for our early childhood teachers in our pilot.
We learned that 30% of the highly credentialed women that were leaving the workforce, 73% of them said they would have stayed if they just had access to flexibility. So when you talk about solutions, I think it becomes daunting, but we're trying to cast a wide net in terms of what does that look like for working parents and businesses that can impact through those top 10 policies. On the parent side, we have built the Parent Pass app. I think for Tarrant County, we built back in COVID, I'm saying that word again, but we came up with the Find Childcare tool, which is a one-stop search for parents that are looking for childcare. Not only can they search for multiple children at the same time, they can see the quality rating of that center and real-time availability. This was an innovation that came out of Tarrant County. It was adopted by the state and now is fully embedded in our free Parent Pass app. Available for forward parents that we launched in October 2022, and now we have over 6,000 families using that free tool. So again, going back to bright spots, not without the help of everyone in this room and this incredible community of collaborators, we have a lot to be proud of.
So I guess my question is, how can we all continue to work together, not only to advocate, but also to train our future educators and having the community and the schools working together for a common goal?
So that's a loaded question. I have thoughts. So one of the first things I think, I'm going to say COVID one more time. I should be last when I say it. But it feels like in COVID, that's when we realized as a society how important childcare was. The whole hashtag essential. When businesses shut down and then they slowly started to reopen and people needed to return to work, they were like, well, is my childcare program open? And so businesses were really feeling the crunch of like, well, what are we gonna do? Like we need our childcare programs open, and our childcare programs, before a lot of the K-12 settings, they opened their doors. Some did not stop serving children because they had to, and they provided childcare in a safe place for kids when people were afraid to leave their homes. And so I think just the awareness of childcare is important is one of the very first easy steps. I'm going to try to say this as eloquently as I can, but a lot of times people who make decisions about childcare, about funding, are so far removed that they maybe don't have this awareness of what does it mean to be a working parent who has to rely on childcare outside of your home. A lot of us have to take our baby somewhere, leave them somewhere safe in order to go and be a contributing member in society. So I think one of the things we can do is just make sure that we always say, as Amber said, education does not start at 5. You don't all of a sudden become eligible for education at 5. It starts from the moment you were born. Really, we could go and talk about prenatal, but I say we really need to.
The system's broken, right? It's broken. It's fundamentally broken, and so for there are these federal rules that are being talked about right now that could come down that would allow us to resume eligibility, and then also a family who has a job, can they just get childcare immediately if they're waiting on the wait list? And there's some fundamental things we need to fix with how we use our public dollars, and I'd love to kind of